Come on over, come along. It's story time when you hear this song. Letters, numbers, colors too. Miss Jenny has a great story for you. So come on over, sit right there. Story time is finally here. The animals and creatures too can't wait to tell their story to you.
Hello, boys and girls. My name is Miss Jenny, and I am here with my sidekick, Bubs. She is a black Labrador. Do any of you have pets? Today I have a shout out to Betty in California. Thanks for listening. Well, a hooty hoot hello! Today I have a story for you about an owl that helps a bumblebee. Have you ever seen an owl? What does owl start with? Owl starts with the letter O. Let's spell owl together. O-W-L. Owl. Great job! Today's story is about helping each other. I think you will like it, so let's begin. Hooty hoot! Hootey the Owl loves to fly all over the forest. And when he is not busy flying, he is at his home in a large oak tree that overlooks a big green field. Hootey loves to sit on his perch and watch all the forest animals crawl and fly by. One beautiful spring morning, Hootey woke up and he just could not wait to fly. There was not a cloud in the sky, and he knew it was going to be an amazing day. Just as Hootey was high in the air soaring above the land, he heard a loud cry. Hootey's eyes can see very good, and he looked directly in the area where he heard all of the crying. All he could see was a bee sitting on a bright pink flower. Hootey the Owl gently flew down to the bee as not to scare him. "Excuse me," said Hootey to the bee, "but I believe I heard you crying. Are you okay?" "Oh," sniffled the bee, "my name is Aunt Bee, and I live in a hive at the end of the forest. Today was such a beautiful day that I wanted to get out early and fly. And then, as I was about to rest on this flower, my wing hit a branch and it really hurts." Said Hootey. "Let me look at your wing." Hootey the Owl heard from his friend the eagle that a little bit of lavender would help heal Aunt Bee's wing, but he did not know where there was any lavender nearby. Just then he heard a meow, 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 and a tiptoeing nearby. And he saw it was a black cat with a bright orange collar and green eyes. "Oh, excuse me, Mr. Cat," said Hootey. "Do you happen to know where the lavender grows?" "Well, hello," said the cat. "My name is Virgil. Why do you need lavender?" "Well," sniffed Aunt Bee, "I injured my wing on a branch, and Hootey the Owl said that lavender will help heal it." Virgil shook his head and said meow, meow, meow as he was in deep thought. "You know," he said, "I live on a horse farm nearby, and I do believe that we have a lavender field." Virgil also stated that he was friends with a horse named Winnie that would help direct them to the lavender field. Hootey gently picked up Aunt Bee and placed her on Virgil's back. Hootey would follow Virgil and Aunt Bee to the farm, and then they would look for Winnie the horse. As they reached the farm, Virgil stopped in front of a brown horse with a black saddle. The horse smiled when he saw Virgil, and he asked him how he was. "Oh," said Virgil, "we have an injured bee. Her name is Aunt Bee, and she injured her wing today on a branch. If you look up, you'll see Hootey the Owl. The owl said that a little lavender should help soothe Aunt Bee's wing. Well, then we should go at once, said Winnie. Virgil jumped on Winnie's saddle and with Aunt Bee, and off they went. Hootey the Owl was flying above and would follow them to the lavender field. It wasn't too long before they reached a beautiful field filled with amazing purple flowers. Winnie the horse ripped some of the lavender off with his teeth and gently placed it on Aunt Bee's wings. They said thank you to Winnie for all of his help, and Virgil and Hootey were going to take Aunt Bee back to her hive so she could rest. By the time Hootey reached his home at the large oak tree, he was very tired. Hootey waved good night to Virgil, and they were going to check on Aunt Bee in the morning. Once the sun rose, Hootey was eager to check on his new friend Aunt Bee to see if the lavender helped her wing. It was not long after Hootey the Owl opened his eyes in the morning that he saw Virgil the Cat sitting below his tree. "Meow, hello," he said. When they got to Aunt Bee's hive, they were so happy to see her buzzing around on the flowers. When Aunt Bee saw them, she smiled and came over to thank them. The lavender had worked, and Aunt Bee was back to her flying around. Wow! Hootey the Owl not only helped Aunt Bee, but he also made some new friends along the way. Who else did Hootey meet? Hootey met Virgil the Cat and Winnie the horse. What color was Virgil's collar? It was bright orange. What color was Winnie's saddle? You guessed it, her saddle was black. What did the bee say to the flower? Hey, bud. Please join me and Bubs next time for another great story. Thank you so much for joining Bubs and I on today's Storytime adventure. We hope to see you next time. And don't forget, if you like today's story, please subscribe, like, and don't forget to hit the bell so you know when the new stories are released. Have a great day!